and welcome to this live Q&A about manifestation. Please let me know if you can hear me all right. Hi guys, I can see people joining. Welcome to this live Q&A about manifestation. If you can hear me, please let me, I can hear you. Oh, hi, the ghosted woman. Thank you. So this is going to be another live Q&A, just the ones that I have done before, where, hi Ridma, thank you for joining, where you can ask me any question about manifestation. And yeah, let's just start. I'm good, thank you. How are you? For anyone who is interested, if you want to join my Master Manifestor Mastermind group, please email me through my booking page and you can start from February if you want to join. So how are you guys doing? What are you manifesting? What questions do you have? Hi, Kevin. Thank you for joining. Hi, Anna. Can I ask you, how can I manifest my SP nurse to be lesbian? She was married to a man before. Do I just focus she is with me now? I feel it's impossible. People tell me that too. Well, people are you pushed out. So regardless of what you are manifesting, you need to go to the end. If you're manifesting your person to be with you in a romantic relationship, that is your end. And everything people are telling you, if that's not what you want to hear, these are your own fears and assumptions, etc. So you can either revise or simply change the assumption by affirming, imagining, or simply by going to the end, actually. Hi, I want to graduate instantly from the universities I want with the degrees and titles I want. Is this physically possible in my current reality instantly or in one day? If you can imagine that and impress that on your subconscious mind, then it is possible. Then this kind of stuff depends on you. So I've been working on money, which is also tied to a business I am building. But I also understand that money can come from expected and unexpected sources too. Yes. You can manifest money through a specific business, but money can come in from anywhere. And I tend to, well, those of my clients who are manifesting money, I tend to not make them focus on the specific source the money needs to come in from, especially if you have limiting beliefs around money. I would work on those in general, but then of course manifest the business, manifest money coming in from the business, but pay attention to the limiting beliefs that you may or may not have in general about money. I was affirming 2 years, this is back to the relationship manifestation, that she's in love with me, but I don't see spark in her eyes anymore the way she used to look at me 2 years ago when I wasn't even affirming. Why is that? Only you know this, but I can give you ideas. have you been wavering? Have you done back and forth? Have you consistently told yourself you don't believe this can happen? This type of manifestation is impossible. Too much focus on the 3D. Everything seems impossible, which makes it difficult to manifest. How to build faith to manifest? Everything seems impossible when your focus is on the 3D. That's the worst place to put your focus on. If you're focusing on the 3D and basing your manifestation on whatever is happening in the 3D, then I guarantee you it's going to feel impossible, and it's going to also mess with your emotions, with your mind. The best way to build faith in manifestation is to take your focus off of the 3D. I know you've heard this before. I know it's easier said than done, but start doing it. Start focusing more on your own imagination rather than what is happening around you. Because the 3D and your focus on it can make you completely powerless. Or not make you, I'm sorry, make you feel like you're completely powerless. So go back into imagination and stay there when it comes to this topic that you are manifesting, the situation that you are manifesting. That I have found is the best way to build faith, mainly because that makes you feel like you're in charge. You are in charge regardless, but when your focus is on the physical world, that will make you feel less in charge and less powerful. So when you go into imagination and you practice that, the more you do, the more powerful you're going to feel. And that helps with manifestation in the sense that you will keep focusing, you'll keep doing the work, you'll persist until it's done. Back to the relationship manifestation, I was focused on no contact and her being silent, but I can't decipher this word. I was affirming, I guess. Anyways, we are back in contact, but only because I came back to hospital, not because she contacted me for a desired end. Well, the bridge of incidents that brings you from point A to point B will not be in your control. So don't judge the circumstances, first of all. But then, yes, if you have been affirming for contact, then contact is what you manifest. When you manifest in steps, which this in this case is a step, you need to manifest every single step. So if you manifest contact, your subconscious mind is not going to sit there and analyze. She says contact, but I guess she means relationship and commitment. That's not what happens. It's always copy paste. So if you're focusing on contact, then it's contact. The next thing, if it's feelings, you need to manifest that. It doesn't happen on its own. Also, like we discussed, oh, this is one of my clients. Hi there. Also, like we discussed in today's coaching session, probably when obsessing over the how to, it brings more resistance, feeling more impossible. You really have to keep reminding, we really have to keep reminding ourselves that manifestation is another level. Yes. And we talked about this in the session. Mainly logical people want to know how things are going to happen. And if they can't figure it out right then and there, a way the things are going to unfold, it's like they stop doing the work because they jump to the conclusion that it doesn't work. I say mainly logical people, but everyone does this at some point, to be honest. I don't want to put people in boxes. If you're new to manifestation, or if you're having a difficult moment, you're you're doubting your manifestation, you start going to the how. You never know the how. The quicker you accept this, the easier it's going to be. So whenever you're focusing on the how, you're focusing on the lack. So go back to the end. I notice sometimes lately multiple things happen all at once in one moment. Isn't it fun when it happens? When you are very much, this is, for me, this is an example of being more in your imagination than freaking out about the 3D, because you also start noticing stuff like this, that, oh, this was suspicious. And yes, a lot of interesting things are happening. But when we have our head in the 3D, we don't notice a lot. And I'm not saying you have to notice when you manifest. All you need to do is to stay in the end, to be honest. But you just notice a lot of fun things along the way when you are in imagination. Hello, I am 28 years old and I want to increase my height by 35 centimeters in a week. Is this possible? Is using affirmations enough? I don't understand what this, I have said this before during another live. I'm these obsessions about time and everything happening, needing to happen instantly. If you can imagine that, this is on you to imagine this going to the end and feeling it real. Feel getting to the end and staying there. If you can do it in a week, then yes, it can happen in a week. I was affirming for relationship. This is about the contact manifestation from before. Does doubt override affirming? It's always creeping in, little voice. It's not possible. And now she triggers me when I see her as therapist and not my partner, or how she used to be 2 years ago. Doubt will override your affirming if you give into it. Yes. The problem with that is that the doubt you have is already a current story that is already impressed on your subconscious mind. That is going to feel far more convincing for you than your affirmations. And this is exactly why you need to stay in the end. When I say stay in the end, it's also in these moments of the negative chatter that you notice. You have to change the story, the negative story as it comes up, instead of giving into it and accepting it as true. Because when you do that, then you're in that moment, you're living in the end of that reality that you don't desire. But in that moment, that's far easier and even easier to manifest because it's already impressed. Does this make sense? So you have to contradict your negative stories with your affirmations and going to the end, etc. By the way, for anyone who is asking if something is possible to manifest, yes, it's up to you to impress that on your subconscious mind. Your manifestation doesn't happen based on the 3D rules or based on your current reality. It happens based on your assumptions. This is the law of assumption. Everyone, please remember that this is the law of assumption. It's what you are assuming to be true. And this doesn't mean instantly believe that this is true. This means train your mind to believe that to come to believe that this is true. Yeah, we like to build the bridges ourselves, like dealing with a project, microengineering ourselves, and really trying and discouraging us with some backfires. Let me know if I understand you correctly, that people often try to micromanage the small steps along the way, and that just overcomplicates things. When you are trying to manifest something, decide your end goal for the moment. Even when you are manifesting in steps, every step is an end goal for that moment. So if you're manifesting contact, let's say, your end goal is a relationship, but you're going in steps. So currently you're manifesting contact. Stop micromanaging that contact. Stay in the end of the wish fulfilled of contact already happening. Someone is asking me, I guess, about revision. I want to instantly return to the year 2021, physically, to any moment I want, in any way I want. Is that, guys, I'm not going to answer any other question who has the word instant in it. If you can imagine it instantly, then yes. Would sleep affirmations then be better for lots of resistance? Also, I think too much about her sexual identity, and if she is open for this love with me. I have story, she is shy and scared. Is sleep affirmation a better solution for lots of resistance? That is one way of doing things. By the way, you are here in this comment, you gave me the answer to why things aren't manifesting. If you are thinking too much about how this can't happen, you are the one stopping your manifestation or prolonging the process. You need to, every problem you have with your own manifestation, you have to take that and change the story around that. Sleep affirmations, do you mean recorded affirmations or do you mean affirming to sleep? Because both are a way of doing it, but that is not enough. You still need to pay attention to what you're doing in your mind during the day. If you go to sleep affirming something, which sleep helps with impressing your subconscious mind easier. Yes, it does. But if that you then wake up and you start worrying about how it's not going to happen, then you're back and forth, and that's why nothing is really moving in the 3D, at least the way you want to. Manifesting in time crunch brings more resistance, creating anxiety. But do you think with more successful manifestation experience, the power will get stronger and then will speed up the manifestation? So yes, and you don't, experience with manifesting helps. It really does. So keep manifesting consciously, keep manifesting smaller things, fun things together with your main manifestations. But don't limit yourself to this idea that I need to have experience in order to be able to manifest, for example, in time crunch. If you are able to focus and fully focus and just stay in the end without going to the negative, it will happen. Years ago, I had a client who came to me. He was completely new to manifestation, and he needed something to happen on a time crunch. He was already late. There were problems. I'm not going to go into details about this. Back then, he gave me, he said I could tell this story in a video. So maybe one day I will make a specific video about this. But a long story short, I told him that you cannot let yourself think the negative at all. Like, no can do. You are going to affirm the end, that this thing has already happened. You're going to visualize that it has already happened. You're going to constantly, whenever you think about this thing, it's going to be from the end. It has to be from the end. No negative thoughts anymore. He was anxious. He was worried because a lot of things in his life depended on this one thing that needed to happen. So we had that session, and 2 days later, just 2 days later, he had done everything I had suggested. He emailed me that this thing has happened, and his 3D, in the 3D, there were a lot of evidence that a lot of things were gone wrong. It was possible that this was never going to happen, etc. He just stayed in the end constantly, consistently, probably all day, because this was a worrying thing. So I'm guessing he would think about this all day long, worrying, if he didn't control his mind. So stayed in the end, manifested in 2 days. So even without experience, you can do it. You just need to control your mind and not give into this story that, oh, I can't do it. I'm bad at this. I don't know. Often we tend to cling on to the old negative story and suffer and hold on to, this is the truth. The negative experience is the truth. And we don't want to slip that. But the moment you do, and you simply go to the end and live from the end, that old story has no real power anymore. It has a lot of power for as long as you're holding on to it. Anna, what's your view on twin flames and twin flame readings? I spent all 2 years watching and getting readings about her, no contact, and what she feels alongside doing my techniques. I don't believe in stuff like that because, when you manifest, it all doesn't matter. I don't know if twin flames are real. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. It completely doesn't matter when you are manifesting, because your subconscious mind, the infinite intelligence, is not going to sit there and tell you, oh, this is not your twin flame, so you can't have it. Plus, there's so much negative story around this whole twin flame thing. I think every time people don't understand that we are manifesting our reality from our own assumptions and stories, they make up stuff. All of a sudden, now it's twin flames, and there's a lot of suffering that comes with it. The suffering doesn't come because of twin flames, or it's not like you're forced to be with this person. You can't not be together. I mean, if that idea helps you to manifest them, great. But all the negative stuff comes from our old programming. A lot of it is self-concept. A lot of it is any sort of, I can't have this, I'm not worthy, I have never had this, so I will never have it, I'm not good enough. Any type of that, what am I trying to say? Any assumption like that is going to manifest in specific situations with specific people. And I think that when people don't understand this, they make up things. And the things that they make up is always giving the power to something outside of us, blaming other things or other people or society or whatever, culture, religion, etc. Everything that says that you are not in control, I don't believe in that, to be honest. Yeah, long story short, I don't believe in it. It can be true, but it doesn't matter, because once you decide that you're manifesting this person and everything is going to be beautiful, then that's what counts. tarot readings, now that someone asked, I know a lot of people watch tarot readings and they are a lot of fun, and I totally get it. But these are manifestations. Every tarot reading that you watch or listen to is telling you what you are currently manifesting. The worst thing that can happen with these tarot readings is if you take it as the ultimate truth, especially with the negative stories. Every time you watch tarot and it's not what you like, go inside and change that story, because that's your assumptions, your fears, your assumptions. How can we recreate SP when there are lots of things we want to change about them? You start imagining them the way you want them to be. And you stop giving so much power to the way they are. One of the main problems that people have with manifesting people is the way they appear. For some reason, we take that as solid and unchangeable without realizing that that's also our manifestation. And when they want to change, now all of a sudden, this is a different person separate from us with their own thinking and their own decisions and free will and whatnot. Now all of a sudden, we can't change it. Whatever you're experiencing with this person that you want to change is already a manifestation. As I said earlier, most of it is manifested because of your own self-concept. So start out by imagining the person the way you want them to be. Make it a habit. Always imagine the person the way you want them to be instead of the way they are. How to manifest my SP? Convince her to marry me. We are in a long distance. Now she says she won't message me, text me, or meet me. We are in a relationship for 3 years. Are you in a relationship or are you not? Anyway, the problem here, long distance, marriage, and she says she doesn't want to meet or talk. You change this story. You need to change this story. First of all, don't dwell on what she said. She didn't say that. She said she wants to text you. She wants to meet. She wants to marry you. She is completely in love with you. That is the story that you need to start telling yourself in your mind. Like I said before, the question right before this, never imagine the person that you love the way they are with the problems. If there are things that they do or say that you don't like, never imagine them the way they are. Imagine them the way you want them to be, as if that is already true. This is the same. Me too. Before I found LOA manifestation, but then learned that tarot reading is actually consistent with everyone as you pushed out. Yes, your worries and your excitement will all be reflected from the cards. I unsubscribed all. Completely true. You can even do an experiment. By the way, everyone who is watching tarot, you affirm something and open a reading. It will reflect what you're affirming. Do it for a period. Affirm for a few days. SP, for example, whatever you're manifesting, money. Or start out by opening a reading, listen to a reading. Anything that is undesired in that reading, you will already have assumptions about this. So it will already be stuff that you have contemplated on, stuff that you believe, assume, etc. Finish the reading. Don't watch any reading for a few days. Affirm your end goal. Stay in the end, stay consistent. Open another reading. It will tell you the story that you changed. It will tell you your affirmations, basically. So everyone is you pushed out. Your cards are you pushed out. But what do you mean imagine her? I don't really do great at visualizing. So how can I imagine all these things by scripting? You tell the story by scripting. By the way, when I use the word imagination, it includes everything, every sense, even your thoughts are part of your imagination. So you are already thinking of her, right? You are already worrying that she is like this or like that. Already, the things that you are already doing in your mind, the way you're doing it, the way you're thinking, the way you're imagining, however you are imagining, maybe you're hearing inner conversations, that's also part of your imagination, or scripting. Instead of one story, you tell the story differently. When you are scripting, just describe her in scripting the way that she is in form of affirmations. SP is this, if SP is that, SP is in love with me, etc. Whatever you want to manifest. Some say do affirmations more. Some say affirm every hour, which will work fast. And does by consistently or daily affirming really help to get results fast? You need to affirm your end goal more than you are affirming the current story or the old story. So you know how much to affirm. If it helps you, these rules that you need to affirm every hour or you need to affirm 24/7, there's no such rule. The only thing you need to pay attention to is, are you thinking more from the negative or from the desired outcome? So if your mind is constantly contemplating the negative, then affirm instead. And when you affirm more than you contemplate on the negative, that will change your programming. Basically, that will change your assumptions, your natural thoughts about the situation. And that is what manifests. Is it really true that affirming without feeling won't bring results? Because feeling is stronger and subconscious mind takes imprint from our dominant feeling, not words. The thing about affirming is that when you are affirming these words, your subconscious is translating those into feelings, images, situations, stories, etc. What I personally am not a huge fan of is robotic affirming, when you're not focused. You're just affirming in the background while your mind is in other places, mostly worrying. Especially if you're affirming and worrying at the same time, that doesn't do much. When you instead focus your mind on your affirmations, that will create everything that you need for your manifestation, including the feelings. But don't go after the feelings if you are worried about that, if you think you're not good at it. Your thoughts manifest too. Feelings manifest too, yes. Your thoughts manifest too. Visuals manifest. Hearing manifests. Smell manifests, all in imagination. Taste manifests. I always, when people ask me questions like this, I always bring the example of manifesting food. For example, if you were to manifest food, I would ask you to imagine biting that food and tasting the food, smelling the food, feeling the consistency of the food. There are no feelings there. You don't really have feelings for your food. I mean, what do I know? But mostly you don't. And that's how you manifest food. There are no real feelings there. The feeling, the thing people get wrong with feeling is that it needs to feel real. It's not like you need to feel emotions. This is not about emotions. I mean, sometimes with some manifestations, like for example, SP related manifestation, there can be emotions involved. Bring them in, enjoy them if you can. etc. But if you're manifesting an object, you're manifesting a book, a pen, a whatever, coffee, you don't need to, I mean, again, you can feel the feeling of it being real, how it tastes, etc. It's all feeling of it being real. But thoughts manifest too, like I said a little bit earlier, that when I say imagination, it includes everything, including thoughts. Your thoughts, when repeated enough, they will translate into feeling in your body, or feeling in any sense you want to, you are affirming. They will manifest the way you would feel if you had it. But again, I'm guessing here. If you're focused on I can't feel, so therefore I can't manifest, that's not true. Just focus on your manifestations. Thoughts alone can manifest. Also without feeling anything. If you can live from the end constantly, if your mind is only occupied with your end goal, that will have to manifest. You are manifesting your relationship, but even in your comments, there's a lot of focusing on the negative. And I understand that if you have experienced a lot of negative things, these things come up. Try to change the assumptions that are behind these stories. For anyone who is new here, by the way, if you're manifesting specific people, I have a whole playlist on how to manifest specific people, a specific person. Everyone is you pushed out, how that works, thought transmission. I have several videos on this, so you can check those out if you want to. Do subliminals work while sleeping? I don't have a real experience with subliminals. This is not, I don't do that, to be honest. When you are manifesting, all you need is your own mind, and you will always have your mind. So I can't advise you on subliminals. I have a lot of experience in conscious manifesting, and every time I have manifested, it has been through consciously choosing my thoughts or imaginal acts, whatever I have been doing. And this is how I coach people also. So you can learn to control your own mind, your own imagination, your thoughts. That's all you need to manifest. What's the playlist name? We'll surely check it. It's called Manifest Your SP, and I have another one, Getting Rid of the Third Party. If anyone is dealing with that, I have a couple of success stories and another video where I explain different ways to manifest being free from a third party. But the thought transmission and SP manifestations are in a playlist called Manifest Your SP. Please tell us more about free will. I also struggle with this a lot because I still wait for my SP to decide and act, looking outside on 3D. How is it they don't have free will? They don't have free will because they are you pushed out. Because if they had free will, they couldn't be you pushed out. Manifestation doesn't work sometimes or here and there. It either works or it doesn't. And you, of course, have to prove it for yourself that it works through your own manifestations, but it helps to think about all the people who have ever manifested an SP, even after rejection. By the way, check out my playlists and my playlist on success stories, because I have several success stories there. People manifesting, also myself manifesting things that were seemingly never going to happen, but then ended up happening. Some of them include other people and SP manifestations also. The way they don't have free will is that in your experience, you only experience life through your own experience. Like, you can't experience your life other than from your own experience. This sounds weird. Let me explain what I mean. So you are going to experience other people based on your assumptions, what is also called your programming, your beliefs, assumptions, programming, etc., your stories. And these are both your assumptions about your self-concept, that other person, the relationship, relationships in general, maybe people in general, generic assumptions, everything is manifesting. And they come back to you, these assumptions come back to you through experiences. So your specific person is just that, a manifestation of your assumptions. They can only behave with you based on your assumptions. If you are assuming a bunch of negative things, they can't. They don't have the free will to be good on their own and be good if your assumptions are constantly negative. On the other hand, when you change all these negative assumptions and you create a lot of positive assumptions about yourself, about the person, about the relationship, etc., generic assumptions, they don't have the free will to resist that. They can't reject you if your assumption is that this person loves you, accepts you, wants you. That's how free will completely opposes manifestation. And this can be tested. Change a specific assumption that you know that you have, work with it, be consistent, and see how people change around you. By the way, I think it's in the SP playlist. I have several videos where I talk about free will, how that's not a thing. If you want to check it out, or if there are other people who want to check it out. Whenever you're worried about free will, remember everyone is you pushed out. And nobody is separate from you. Nobody in your experience is going to act towards you separate from your assumptions. And by the way, you say you also you're waiting for your SP to decide and act. You are going to wait a long time if you're waiting for them. You need to be the one doing the work and changing your assumptions. They act based on your assumptions. They can't act without your assumptions. I would love to hear more videos about thought transmission. This is a very interesting topic. I will make more videos about thought transmission. It's a very fascinating topic, but it's also not separate from everything else. So when we say, for example, when you affirm, you manifest your person through affirming. When you affirm and you persist in an affirmation, which is your new assumption, it becomes your new assumption through persistent repetition. That affirmation is being sort of sent to your person's mind, and they get the thought from their own perspective. So in their mind, it becomes like they had the idea, but you put the idea in their head. How to be naturally a happy, energetic, and cheerful person. How to manifest it specifically. I don't want to take physical actions as psychologists suggest. Does it have to do something with self concept? It has everything to do with self concept. This is about how do you view yourself? How do you imagine yourself in different scenarios? You need to start, just like I said, that you need to imagine your specific person the way you want them to be. You are also your specific person in this case. You need to imagine yourself the way you want to be, or think of yourself the way you want to be. Someone said that they are not good at visualizing. Thinking does it. That's why affirming works, because affirmations are thoughts. They're just your new thoughts that you're planting in there. So I would suggest you to affirm that you are happy, you're energetic, you're a cheerful person, and then implement this in your imaginal acts if you're imagining scenarios. And by the way, you say, I don't want to take physical action, as psychologists suggest. Whenever you are taking physical action, your action comes from your current assumptions. So it's going to be your old assumptions manifesting somehow. I have a whole playlist. By the way, speaking of playlists, I have a whole playlist on 3D action. Not a big fan. Check that out, please. Anyone who is curious about taking physical action. So why is she not in love with me if she had no free will? Because you assume she's not. In earlier comments, you said that you assume this is not going to work because of differences, because of her sexuality, etc. This is your assumption. You need to change the assumption. She's hot and cold, like I met completely different person 2 years after. I miss old version. Actually, is thought transmission instant? It is instant, but so are your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are also thoughts, by the way. So whatever is dominant in your mind, that's what's getting transmitted. This is why consistency in affirmations makes your new story dominant, and that's why it works. I always chew gum and touch things in an ASMR way in my imaginal acts because it makes me feel relaxed and helps me focus. Although we manifest everything without focus, it is still an enhancer. Whatever makes you, whatever helps you focus, that's fine. I have never done this myself, to be honest, but if it helps you focus, yeah. I am actually a big believer in focus, in manifestation, in the manifestation technique. Whatever technique you use, whether it's affirmations or visualizations or in a conversation, scripting, even scripting helps, like forces you to focus almost because you have to write it down. But with other things also, the more you focus, the more your subconscious takes that in, because when you're focused, that's like the only possibility you give your mind in that moment. And if you stay focused, that's a prolonged one option that you give your mind, that this is the only reality now. And it helps. For anyone who is struggling with consistency, if you want to join my Master Manifestors mastermind group, that has been created with specifically that in mind, to help you stay consistent, do the work, help you find your limiting beliefs, figure out what you are doing that isn't working. And you can email me from my booking page and start from not January. January is ongoing. Start from February if you want to, and if you need help with staying consistent, and also your specific manifestations, limiting beliefs, again, figuring out what's not working. So send me an email if you're interested. Any other questions about manifestation? By the way, for those who say you can't visualize, if you want to, it's not a must. You can manifest through affirming. Affirming alone can do the work, do the job. But if you want to, you can actually train yourself, or you can affirm that you're good at visualizing if you want to. So that is also something that can be manifested. Yes, I focus too much on obstacles and what she's going to do, think in waiting mode. Do we need to read what we have scripted? Not necessarily, although that is one way of doing it. You can either read and reread what you script, or you can script again and again and again. Like repeat your scripting every time you script. But have to read? No, you don't have to do anything in this sense. What you have to do is to focus on your end goal, however you want to focus. Whether it's scripting, whether it's reading your scripting, whether it's affirming, again, any imaginal acts. The techniques aren't based on any rules. The techniques are there to help you to focus on your desired outcome. And all these techniques we do, these are already natural things that we do. Like, for example, affirming, we call it affirming, but we do think thoughts all day long. So when you're affirming, it becomes controlled thinking. The same with visualization. We do daydream all day long. When you start visualizing, that becomes controlled. Or inner conversations, we do that all day long. We just don't notice it if we are not aware of manifestation, etc. So when we do techniques, it's all just controlling our imagination. I am manifesting my SP and many other things too, but nothing seems to be working. Feels so stuck. It depends on what you are doing and how you are doing things. What's your opinion on manifesting obsession? And what would you recommend for us who have abandonment wounds for self concept? I would first of all recommend changing this story around abandonment. There's a limiting belief there. I would start by changing that in your favor. And obsession, again, depends on what you mean, but I think I know what you mean, to be honest. If you mean affirming a lot, I know that there's this idea that if you affirm a lot, then it's not going to manifest because now you're obsessed. Depends, because if you're affirming from this state of, I need to affirm to get it, you're already telling your mind, I don't have it. But if you're affirming like it's a fact, whether or not you believe in it, this is not about belief. In that moment, you're affirming like it's a fact. You can do it all day. Actually, if you, now I don't want to sound like you have to do it all day, but this is just an example. If your day is spent thinking the negative, the obstacles, how nothing is happening, you might as well affirm all day, because then you focus on your desired outcome more than you focus on lack. So obsession is not an obstacle. Obsession in that sense is not an obstacle. If you mean affirming a lot, if you're affirming a lot, from the end you feel good, it gives you energy, it's wonderful, do that as much as you can. How do you cure or make a mental issue go away? The same way you manifest anything else. You identify the problem, you affirm the solution, or you imagine the solution, and you persist. Most importantly, you persist in the solution. Please talk about getting over anxiety in manifesting. I know that this is an issue. Anxiety comes in many shapes and forms in manifesting. And I will keep this in mind for videos and for, again, even future live Q&A. Oh, you mean the obsession. I meant manifesting SP being obsessed with us versus ghosting. I mean, your SP is pushed out. I'm going to direct you to a video I posted recently. It's one of the last videos. It's called Creating versus Manifesting. That video is going to answer this question. Whatever you manifest, I never recommend manifest hurting anyone. I never recommend manifest like specifically hurting someone, doing something bad for someone. But if you are imagining your SP being obsessed with you and that makes you both happy, which is very possible, go ahead and manifest it. I mean, healthy obsession, not creepy. That's your call. Like, however you want your SP, they are you pushed out. No judgment for desires from here, by the way. Yet, like, if that's your desire, if that makes you feel happy, and it can also make your person happy, go for it. I am not a big fan of people telling other people what they should or should not manifest. I have heard a lot of stuff like this. Also around money, like judging people for wanting to manifest a lottery win, like manifest whatever the hell you want, to be honest. It's your desire. There's a reason you have that desire. It's mostly based on something self-concept related. It's going to be something that fulfills you. So just manifest it. Don't listen to people, especially if it's something that makes you happy. And you can always include that this makes your SP happy too. So you are manifesting happiness for both of you, whether or not they are obsessed. So what are exactly parallel realities? How are infinite versions even possible? That video I just said, that's also going to answer this. But the parallel realities are the different versions of different people and situations. So, like, for example, your SP, let's take your SP. In one reality, you are in no contact. In another reality, like, for example, now, where you want the person, they don't want you in any way, shape, or form. In another reality, your person is obsessed with you. And other things, like in another reality, your person is not a doctor, they're the mayor of the city, and etc. You name it, whatever you can think of. Whichever of these realities you focus on, that's what's going to manifest into this experience of yours. I have a background thought that if I manifest something, other areas of my life would be affected in ways I may not want. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible, because now you're giving it the possibility to exist, to manifest. Change the thought. Make it positive. If any other area of my life will be affected, it will be affected in a good way. This is a type of fear, limiting belief. You can change it. Yeah, that video is a game changer. Also, that 5 sabotaging mistakes video is the same. Great. Thank you. For example, if I want a certain characteristic about my SP, which I may think is best for me, then in practice that could be harmful, cause problems in other areas. Why would that do that? Why would it be harmful? Why do you assume this? Change that assumption. This is an assumption, by the way. This is just an assumption. What you are telling me here is not the ultimate truth. It's just an assumption. You can change it. Does self-love and self-concept work helps in reducing anxiousness and stressful attitude in life generally? It does 100%. I preach self-concept work to all my clients. That's the best thing you can do. So yes, for anyone, by the way, I received another question about anxiety, etc. Self-concept work in general does wonders in every area of your life, to be honest. And it reduces anxiety also because you become more confident, you become more calm. I also affirmed SP being obsessed over me, but if you don't feel good, probably add in a healthy way in the affirmation. Good idea. Guess you're probably similar with me, the same fear, my affirmation. I am not getting this. So she's suggesting to add in a healthy way if you're manifesting your SP being obsessed with you. If you think you might hurt people, unexpected outcomes, but no. Oh, okay. So what I'm getting from here is that you thought that you would hurt people and you're afraid that you would hurt people by making them obsessed. But by adding the healthy part in the affirmation, that reduces the other side of the story, which is the fear. Yeah. Everything is you pushed out. Exactly. It's not just everyone, but everything is you pushed out. I am about to wrap this up. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'm not going to run away. Obsession doesn't have negative meaning for me, just means SP thinks about me all the time, and we are not in no contact anymore. I would never hurt my SP in any way. Of course, then you have no problem. Just keep affirming that. Hi, Anna. I tried SATs and found myself being with my SP in a loving way with vivid scenery. Can I use those scenes as a base for who I am now? Yeah, definitely. Yes, especially if it feels good and if you notice the way you feel in the scene. Yeah, this is wonderful. For anyone who wants to jump on one of my Master Manifestor Mastermind groups, please send me an email and you can start from February. These groups are where we talk about people's manifestations, limiting beliefs. I give homework And most importantly, it helps you stay consistent with your work. And I'm always there to help you figure out what you're doing or what you might be doing that's not working. So send me an email if you want to join. So believe your subconscious mind is the smartest in knowing that you don't want to hurt people. Yeah, exactly. Manifestors, specifically conscious manifestors, because everyone's manifesting, need to trust their mind a little bit more. Hello, Anna. You often say in your videos, do the work. Is this a generic expression to say focus on your mind and result with the tools you want? Yeah, yes, definitely. So if you're constantly complaining and focused on the negative, why is this not working, etc., focus your mind however you want, whatever technique you want to use. That is for me doing the work. Staying in the end consistently and consciously, however you want to do it. That's what I mean. Not mostly, that's what I mean. I always get dreams about my SP when I listen to sleep affirmations in my voice. Keep doing that. Dreams, by the way, just show you what you are currently holding in your subconscious mind. SP told me something that shocked me about the past, but that contradicts what I had scripted. Every time I think about it, I feel really unwell. Revise, revise, revise. You look lovely as always. It's so good to see you today. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy you're here. So far, I feel so relaxed after our coaching session, more focused on the end goal. Your affirmations are powerful. Tricks worked. Yes, yes. Do the work. You can do it. Do you believe in this or something better? Can we really get any SP we pick? Yes. I have never done this or something better. Never. I have manifested more things than I can count. And I have had so many clients manifesting their desires. I never ask anybody to affirm this or something better, because nothing is better than your desire. So I don't do that. You can do that. You can affirm whatever you want, but not necessary. It's funny, I did sleep affirming last night and dreamt of his mother criticizing me washing dishes. Spot on. What? No way. That we see happening in the 3D that are opposite to what we are affirming. Those things happening in 3D that are triggering because they are a reminder that we don't have our manifestation yet. They are exactly that, telling you that you still have this assumption. You need to treat the 3D as manifestation. Whether it's something that happened before you knew you were manifesting or something that is happening while you are manifesting, it's still a manifestation. So if it's not the thing you wanted, then it's your old assumptions. It's just the messenger telling you still have these assumptions. Change those. So if I affirm only wants me and we are together, then I shouldn't bother with any obstacles exactly between us or who she prefers for a relationship. Exactly. Yes. And persist in that end. And whenever obstacles come in mind or you have questions about who she prefers for a relationship, you go back to your affirmation. Your SP wants you and you are together. By the way, Anna's revision video is the best and clearly explained among all videos regarding this topic in the community. Thank you so much. Trust me, I've been listening to all. It helped me get so much more powerful in how to revise. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy you liked it. Good night, Anna. I've got to go. Kids are hungry. Thank you so much again, Anna. You look wonderful tonight. All the best. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good night. Met up with SP today. It was nice, but told me he is going to move in with another woman. It did not seem that he loved her. He also said I was too good for him. That's why he was unsure about us. Change this whole story. Speaking of revision, please go and watch my revision videos. You can revise this, but you can also change the assumption just right away. This is telling you your own assumptions that he doesn't want you. He has this story that you're too good for him. Make him be good enough for you in your mind and have him choose you because you chose him. I intend to marry SP. We don't have anything yet. He just declared feelings when drunk. In text, as he lives in another country. Should I treat him as my husband already or let things unfold? In the stage we are where he hasn't committed yet. I will watch the revision video. So I don't recommend doing anything in the 3D. Live your 3D life the way you do. By the way, I have a whole playlist on how to deal with the 3D while manifesting. Please check that out too. But you don't have to do anything in the 3D. But yeah, treat him as your husband in your mind. Imagine him as your husband in your mind, or think of him as your husband. Because your mind is what manifests, not what you do in the 3D. Thank you, Anna. You are lovely. Good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the questions. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up, but stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and stay tuned because I'm going to do more of these live Q&As. Plus, I'm posting videos on manifestation consistently, specifically on law of assumption. And my videos are all inspired by Neville Goddard's teachings. I also mentioned Joseph Murphy. They have both been wonderful teachers for me, Neville Goddard specifically. So if you are interested in content like that, subscribe, stay tuned. See you in the next live Q&A. And once again, if you want to jump on my Master Manifestors mastermind groups where I help you stay consistent and find out, again, help you with your specific manifestations. If you want to join, you can start from February. Please email me through my booking page. The link is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Anna, for all the questions that the comment section asked. It helps immensely. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your presence. Have a good night, good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. And yeah, see you next time.